I love Jersey Shore this time of year. Okay, guys, this is not like my typical normal videos. But do you remember when I told you that I was in a show hole and that I started recently binge watching a reality show I never watched before?
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
Well, that reality show happened to be the Jersey Shore. I never watched it when it was airing because it kind of had like a bad reputation. I always saw the like clips and like the commercials and previews, and I always thought they were a bunch of a-holes that were always getting into fights. But now it's my happy place. They have two shows. Okay, most people have watched the Jersey Shore. So if you want to watch someone experience it for the first time and Kiki, like that's what this video is for. But they have the Jersey Shore, and that's when they were like in their 20s, and that was like 6, 7 seasons. I don't know. I have it playing in the background. And then when they got older, like 9, 10 years later, they did a spinoff called Jersey Shore Family Vacation, and they're all married with kids now. So I'm currently watching the second show, Family Vacation, the first season for the second time. I don't want to confuse you guys. I have the first season playing in the background just because I thought it would be more like nostalgia baiting. I don't know. I hope I don't get copyrighted for that. You could barely see it, right? Like there's no sound. So when did the Jersey Shore first premiere? Like I said, I didn't watch it when it first premiered. December 3rd, 2009. I was already well into my 30s. Okay, so this is the main reason why I didn't watch it. I tanned every day. I was extremely dark. I dyed my hair black. My hair was extremely long and black. And I teased it. I had the whole poof bump it thing going on. That was like my emo phase. That's when I got my ribs tattooed. I got my lip pierced. I was going crazy. I was already in my 30s. Why was I doing that in my 30s? I don't know. I used to wear black eyeshadow. Come to think of it, it was also around the time I started stretching my ears, which I do kind of regret a teeny bit, but you know, you live, you learn. It was also around the time when I used to drink. I used to drink a lot. If you've been here, I talk about how I used to have a drinking problem. I would go out drinking every weekend to the clubs. Let's be real. I drank every night, and I weighed probably 30, 40 pounds more than I do now because of alcohol. I don't know why I have to bring up my height in every video, but it actually makes sense in this video. So since I'm only 4'9" and I tanned every day and I had long black hair and I was 40 pounds overweight, everyone always called me Snooki and I hated it. And I was so mad because I never watched the show. I did in my head, I thought Snooki was an asshole, and I feel like such an asshole myself because I would love to be called Snooki. Like Snook, I wish. Like, have you seen Snooki compared to me? Snooki is so adorable. I am such an asshole. Okay, so that's why I never watched the Jersey Shore because everyone called me Snooki around that time. Because yes, I had a tanning problem, I had a drinking problem. I was a meatball. What am I talking about? I'm still a meatball. You don't have to drink alcohol to be a meatball. Anywho, Snooki was way cuter than me, still is to this day, and I was completely wrong about the entire show when I want to talk about it. Since we're on the topic of meatballs, I've been making so many meatballs lately. I've been making ground beef meatballs. I've been making sausage meatballs. I have my own recipe now. I've also been making a lot of funfetti cupcakes. Now, I grew up on reality shows. I love reality shows. I grew up on The Real World. And it's funny because I had no idea that Jersey Shore was pretty much just like The Real World. They just kept the same cast because none of them knew each other before being on the show. In my head, I don't know, I just thought they were all friends before joining the show. But they weren't. They were all strangers, and then they became a family. It's so cute. It makes me literally want to cry. Like I said, Snooki's my favorite. And in the first season, they all called her Snickers, which I thought was so cute. I think Snickers is a lot cuter than Snooki, but it's cute because they're like, oh, what's wrong with Snickers? And it was just really cute. I just wanted to bring that up. But my favorite quote that Snooki ever said, it's actually in the most recent episode. It's in the new season. I think it was the last season, season 7. Snooki and Dina decided to stay out longer than everyone else and drink more. So by the time they got to the house, everyone was asleep and they were wasted. And then Snooki was trying to talk Dina into watching her take a shit, like watching her poop, because she wanted to talk more and she was drunk. And then Dina was like, ew, no. And she was like, cool, forget about it. I don't have to poops no more. And then she took a full pizza to bed with her and passed out. It reminds me a lot of my 20s and 30s. That's exactly how my 20s and 30s were, except I was on the West Coast and they're on the East. I don't think I could have lasted on the East Coast. I can't believe, like, in the show, a lot of times so many people would pick fights with Snooki for no reason. She would do nothing, and like people at the bars would just like want to jump them. And it's like, what? No one's ever tried to start shit like that with me at the club ever. And I even used to work at a club before. Okay, guys, I know I'm talking too fast. I'm going to try to slow it down. I'm just really excited. But I want to talk about everyone else on the show and just go through all the characters. I'm just going to act like they're characters and not real people. But a lot of them, I either liked them when they were younger or I liked them when they were older. It's like 50-50. JWoww is my second favorite. I liked her a lot more when she was younger because, okay, I'm a Pisces. I'm a March Pisces. She's a February Pisces. I know a lot of February Pisces. When February Pisces grow up, they hold themselves on a really high pedestal. They take themselves extremely seriously. So I like JWoww more when she was younger. She took herself less seriously. I really wanted to like Sammy though, because Sammy is a March Pisces. And March Pisces, we don't take ourselves seriously at all. We're silly. We talk a lot. We talk all the time. We have big personalities. We're very creative. We're very quirky. And I thought Sammy was only boring because, you know, she was going through all that abuse with Ron. But then, like, she comes back in the later years and she's still pretty boring, Snorville. She's like, I've dated a lot of Pisces. I've never met a Pisces that doesn't talk. We don't shut up. We have to make YouTube videos and talk to ourselves. Next up, we have Angelina. I gave her the nickname Poopy because she took a shit in the cab. But Angelina is good TV. She's what I thought the show was. I thought it was going to be rude, tacky, like Jersey people. Like, she's good TV because she's a lot of drama. And I don't know if she's playing a character. I don't know if that's really how she acts. Now, I don't care when women get plastic surgery. More power to you, whatever makes you feel good. But since I binged watched everything so fast, I almost feel like a mother to where I think everyone was so beautiful before all their injections, especially Snooki and JWoww. Snooki's mouth is the cutest mouth before all the injections. And oh my God, JWoww was drop dead gorgeous before she even touched her face. But I just feel like a protective mother since I watched them in such a short period of time. But Angelina, like, I'm glad she did get an upper lip, that she needed that help. But she claims she lost a bunch of weight from all the stress she was in. Okay, this is alleged, but it could just be all the injections she keeps getting, because there's a lot of like celebrities that get a bunch of, you know, injections where their face starts looking weird. But, you know, allegedly there's also a lot of women that have the same injections that also get on Ozempic or, you know, drugs like that start losing weight, and all the injections start migrating south and they all start looking like Ducky from Land Before Time, but not in a good way. I don't know. To me, it looks like Poopy has Ozempic face, allegedly. Okay, let's talk about the boys now. Let's talk about Vinny. I liked Vinny when he was in his 20s in the earlier seasons, but I can't stand him in the later ones. He's creepy as hell. He always brags about wearing different shades of gray, which is like, okay, you're bragging about wearing the color of seasonal depression and no personality, because he has no personality. His only personality is like, he reminds me of like one of those creepy guys at work you're going to have to call HR on. And don't get me wrong, I am not a prude. I can joke it up with all the guys. I love raunchy jokes, but like he says stuff to make women feel uncomfortable. Like that creepy guy in the break room. I love Vinny's mom though, Paula. She's so pretty. I love how she does her makeup. And maybe it's her fault why he's so creepy. I don't know. Let's not blame Paula. I'm sure it has nothing to do with her. Her son's just creepy. Next up, Pauly D. I have nothing bad to say about Pauly D, except for before I ever watched the show and I used to see like previews of the show, I thought Pauly D was like 3 of the guys on the show because in my head, I thought all the guys did their hair the same or something. I don't know. And Pauly D is the oldest of the cast, which I'm still older than him. But fortunately, I think we were born the same year, so I don't feel too bad. And I think Pauly D is all about, he's one of those like, I don't know if it's A personalities, but he's all about the job. Like he is focused on being a DJ, doing the show. He has his little catchphrases, but I think that's just a character. I think he's literally about the gig, the show, the gig, the show. And that's why it was so hard for him to find a partner. Like they literally, because there's a spin-off show for Vinny and where they have to find him girlfriends. I don't know what it's called. Something of love. I don't know. I watched it. But I think they had to force him to hang out with a girl. And that's like, here, you have to hang out with this girl because it's your job, because you're going to get paid. This is your schedule. And then COVID happened. He had to be stuck with a girl because he's just about the job. I mean, being career focused isn't a bad thing. I also noticed that every cartoon character with spiky hair looks like Pauly D. But it's not just in the hair. It's in the eyes and nose, like the brow area. Like, look at the eyes and nose. Even with Pauly D, look like they have the same brow and nose. This one just reminds me of Pauly D and Vinny. Now let's get into the situation. Obviously, I hated Mike in Jersey Shore when he was in his 20s. I hated him with a passion, and I wanted to go in on how much I hate him, but this video would be way too long. I do want to add that in the early years, he looked a lot like Pauly Shore. Like Pauly D, Jersey Shore, Pauly Shore. He did. He looked a lot like Pauly Shore when he was younger. I hate my makeup today, and I'm going to hate editing this. Just wanted to add that. Oh, but you know who should have been on the show? Mike's girlfriend in the first episodes, Paula, I think her name was. She was so cute. She was so cute. She was so funny. But then Mike broke up with her because he doesn't like girls with personalities. He only likes those fake basic bitches who pretend like they're perfect and they can't say anything funny. They just have to sit there and be fake and basic. But Mike's transformation has been epic. He's probably one of my favorite characters. I mean, Prison Time can do that to you too. But I love all his inspirational quotes. I say them all the time. Let's see. I wrote them down. We got, the comeback is always greater than the setback. I've used this one on you guys. Become better, not bitter. We turn our L's into lessons. We didn't come this far just to come this far. And the majority of the rest of this video is going to be talking shit about Ron. I hated Ron when he was young. I hate Ron when he's old. I can't stand men with short men syndrome, especially fat short man syndrome. It's never good. He's one of those guys that makes sure he hangs out with the cooler guys and then just repeats everything they say, like Manny MUA and Jeffree Star.
If we're gonna do this, we gotta take it there. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna take it there.
We didn't know this, by the way. This is not planned.
This is not planned.
It's cute.
It's cute.
And I use a lot, so that
I use a lot.
Alright, we're doing a little Cupid's bow.
Cupid's bow action.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
It happens.
It happens.
And then when all the hot girls give the cool guys he's with hugs, he's standing there in back of them like, where's my hug? And then he makes you hug him. And then he proceeds to make you take a selfie with him, like as if you're a Hooters girl working for tips. Allegedly, he was abusive in every relationship we saw on TV. And he probably had more relationships outside. What did he do to those women? Even Crazy Baby Mama, they try to make Crazy Baby Mama look so crazy, like she was the abusive one, like dragging him with her car and punching his teeth out. Most women, they do that because they're trying to to defend themselves. Women don't just drag you from the car if you're not provoking them. I saw on Reddit that MTV was trying to hide everything that really happened, and that baby mama has tons of pictures of her with black eyes, and they're just trying to silence her of how abusive he was allegedly. All of it just makes me so sick. And then he always tries to say stuff he thinks the audience wants to hear, like, because now he has the daughter, and he's like,
my daughter's my life. I'll do anything for her. My life revolves around my daughter.
Because he's trying to get brownie points. It's like, duh, it's your daughter. You're a father now. That doesn't make you a good person. That makes you a father. She's supposed to be your number one priority. And every time they try to do like an interview, what is it called when they do the interview portion or like the confession portion, and it's Ron's turn, and he always tries to be funny and nothing's funny.
Yeah, and then I took a crap and I blew up that bathroom too.
You know I love talking about mental health on this channel. He gives me narcissistic vibes, but it's probably less than that. It's probably he's just emotionally immature, because emotionally immature people are pretty much have the same characteristic as a narcissist. He's literally a child. Ron is also so jealous by Mike's transformation, and he always tries to compete with Mike's transformation like, oh, I'm becoming a better guy too, but you have to do the work. You have to change. I snuck on his Instagram to see what he's doing, and I think he's part of this church. I don't know if he made this church or if it's a church he's a part of, but he has videos of him at church with a Khloe Kardashian's ex-dude, the one that like cheated and stuff. Oh my God, you really are trying with these brownie points, aren't you? You're hanging out with the scum of Hollywood. Yeah, bring God into your life. See if that helps. I don't know. I hate fat ass Ron, and his teeth are gay. But let's talk about how everyone has such beautiful babies, especially the girls. I'm so glad that Snooki found someone that looks very similar to her to make babies with, because her babies look like little mini-me's. Well, her son does look a lot like her husband, but I think her husband looks like that one guy. I forget his name all the time. On October Skies, I don't like him. Jacob Gyllenhaal. Jacob, you know who I'm talking about. I think her husband kind of looks like that guy. But JWoww's kids are adorable. They look just like her. And then Dina, I didn't even talk about Dina in this much. I love Dina. She was made to be a mother. Her little boys are so cute. They look just like her husband. Dina's adorable too. I also think it's so cute that Snooki was adopted from Chile. Like, this family wanted a kid, and they got a kid from Chile and brought her home. And she's like, they love her so much. They wanted a boy, but they ended up getting a girl, and she's close to both of her parents. She's really close to her dad. And I admire any kind of relationship when a daughter and a father are really close. I think it's so adorable, because I've never had it, or with my mom. I'm not close with anyone in my family. So I think it's just so cute how close she is with them. And like, I don't know, they have their little baby. And then she found a husband that looks like her, and she made little Chile Italian babies, and I just think it's just so cute. And she was the only child. It's the only child that they had, and that's all they needed. They didn't need the little boy. They just needed Snooki.
I have an excellent idea. Let's change the subject.
So now I just want to add in a bunch of stuff I think they could have done better with this show. I think they could have done away with the whole Italy season. There was no reason for them to go to Italy. They couldn't gym, tan, and laundry because they don't have good gyms there. They don't tan there. They didn't really do laundry, and they weren't like hooking up with locals. I felt like that whole season could have been scratched, and they went from Italy back to the Jersey Shore. They didn't even give them a break. They went from that season to the next season. No wonder why freaking Vinny went home with anxiety. Even the Real Housewives get a break. They made them just keep working and keep filming. I also love the show because I didn't realize how much Italians and Mexicans truly have in common. Like, we're superstitious. We're usually brought up Catholic. Everything's about food and dinner and family. I want to get one of those Italian horns everyone was wearing. It kind of looks like a little chili, like a Mexican chili. But yeah, I know this video isn't like my other videos. I just wanted to tell you guys about the happy place I've been lately. I've been at the Jersey Shore. I love the Jersey Shore this time of year. If you guys want to kiki with me in the comments and tell me who your favorite character is, because this has been decades. I need someone to talk about all this with. Like this one if you like it, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one.
You get your ass beat. You can stay, get your ass beat. You can stay, get your ass beat. Okay. You can stay, get your ass beat. All right. Plain and simple.